going on, guys? As you can tell by the title of the video, I just bought my first investment property. And so today we're gonna go over how I did it, how you can do it too, and what I would do differently, because there's a lot I fucked up on. So here we go. So I'm at my garage right now because some of my roommates are getting ready for the day and I don't want to disturb them, and it's quiet out here, and this is pretty much my favorite place of the house. Anyway, I was gonna give you all a tour, but since my roommates are getting ready, I don't want to disturb them. I don't want to invade their privacy by taking you in their rooms, and I will do a house tour later, but I can just give you I'm going to give you all the rundowns and the specs of the house that I bought. So to start off, I wanted to buy a house when I was like 15 or 16. I knew that that's an investment that I wanted to make. I've always had a lawn care and a landscaping company, so I was able to put aside pretty generous amount of money every year, and for over the course of 3 or 4 years. And I moved to college, moved away from my hometown to another town for college, and I started looking right away as soon as I moved into the dorm room, because the dorms suck. I'm gonna leave it at that. Don't get me started on that. Dorms are terrible. So I started looking for my first house back the August that I moved into my freshman year of college, which was the summer of 2019. And I started looking. I probably looked at about a dozen houses in the area around my town and pretty close to the college. The problem with college housing is, though, it's cheap and it's crap. So I was looking for a house that was in pretty close proximity to the college. I could still kind of walk if I had to, but still far enough away that I wasn't in a college neighborhood when it goes for resale or if I try to rent this to a single family. So what I did was, eventually March of 2020, I walked through the house that I did end up purchasing, and it's the housing market in the town I'm in is very, very competitive. So before I went and looked at the first house, I went and got pre-approved for financing. I go with my first credit card when I was 18. I've got 2 credit cards. I've always kept a small truck payment. I could always pay my trucks off in cash, but I'd always do a truck payment just to help build my credit a little bit. And that helped. I have like a 750 credit score. When I was doing this, I was 19 years old. So I had a 750 credit score. I had pretty decent credit history, not a whole lot. So I was gonna have to get my parents to co-sign. And in doing that, I went to the bank, got approved for a house that's up to $200,000 at 3.5% interest, which is over 30 years, which is basically free money as far as I'm concerned. 3.5% is not a whole lot compared to what the rates have been in the past. When my parents bought their house, they were at 12%, and that is just astronomical. So I didn't want to pay that, and I think the times we're in right now, the perfect time to buy a house as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, walked through the house. We closed on the deal. We negotiated with the realtor and the homeowner over the course of about a day, and 24 hours after I walked through it, we had agreed upon a deal for the house listed at $172. I got it bought for $170,500. So I saved $1,500 basically, but in the market that I'm in, I was more than happy to pay that. I didn't negotiate down a whole lot, but compared to the houses that are around me, I have the nicest lot, the biggest lot, the nicest house, the biggest garage for the cheapest price. Now, with that being said, it did need a little bit of work when I moved in. The people that I bought it from were flippers. They redid the basement, they painted the whole house. They didn't mask off a single thing, so they just kind of painted everything, didn't mask it off, and just kind of took pictures and listed it. So they didn't do a great job. It looks good in pictures, but when you get up close, there's paint drips everywhere. The floor, they said they redid. Parts of it are still like the original hardwood floors. Part of them are polished, the rest of them aren't sealed like the way they should be. So, but it's something I had to deal with, which isn't that big of a deal to me. I'm pretty handy. I've done a lot to the house so far. So, let me go back to the financing part. I kind of skipped through that a little bit too fast. So I had $17,000 to put down on a house. That was the amount of money I'd saved. I wanted to leave a little bit in my bank account just for unforeseen expenses. My truck breaks down, if something breaks in the house, if I need money. So I kept about about $5,000 in a separate account that I had just in case something would break, or like just in case something happened before I built my savings account back up again. So I put $17,000 down, and my payments are $712 a month on this house. And my property taxes are about $200 a month, so it's $900 a month. And then utilities all in all are about $350, $400 a month, because I do have 4 roommates. There's 5 of us living in the house. It is a 2,000 square foot, 3.5 bed, 3+1 bedroom. There's 1 non-conforming, but the laws in my town are kind of vague on if you can rent it out or not. I didn't have an issue. There's a couple of egress points in the basement, so they can get out if they need to in case of fire. And I've got, when I moved in, it was 1.5 baths. So there's one main bathroom upstairs that was with the shower, and the basement bathroom was just a toilet and a sink. So the first thing I did when I moved in, actually let's say a month in, after I got some money saved back up, I demoed that basement bathroom. I remodeled, I redid it. I put in a big shower, new toilet, new vanity, new flooring, new paint. So we'd have 2 bathrooms in this house with 5 people living in. So, because 5 people using 1 bathroom is a lot. So, I have the master bedroom, and then there are 3 other bedrooms in this house. So I was in a frat for my first year of college, and the people that are living in my house I met through the frat. Great dudes. One of their girlfriends living with one of them, and it's just awesome. I couldn't ask for anything better. Each bedroom rents for $450. The non-conforming one rents for $350, but that's all in total $1,250 a month is what I'm bringing in. And my mortgage is $700, and my property taxes are $200, so I'm paying $900 a month for that. And then part of their rent includes utilities, so they don't have to pay utilities. I take care of that. So that leaves about $350 left over for utilities. At the end of the month, I usually have to chip in about $50 or $60 of my own money to pay for stuff like that. And obviously everything that I've done to the house, I probably dumped $5 grand into it this summer. I put in a sprinkler system, I remodeled the bathroom, I did a bunch of other little things, just light fixtures, just stuff like that. So just little things to make a better place to live. This is I'm planning on living in this house until I can go buy another one, because in the market that I'm in, if this was just a single family rental and I didn't pay for utilities, nothing, this place could rent for $1,400 a month. And so that's double what my mortgage is. So after property taxes, I'd be pocketing $1,500 or $500 a month, $450 probably after everything. So eventually that's what I'm planning on doing when these guys' leases run out. I'm planning on going to purchase another house. I'm getting more money saved up right now so I can go buy another one. And that's the kind of the chain of what's my 2-year plan is, just to go pick up another house and have the mortgage or the rent from this house pay for the mortgage on the other one. I'll have maybe 1 or 2 roommates at the other one when that time comes. But when I bought this house, I was 19 years old. I turned 20 in May. This house closed April 3rd of 2020, and we moved in that day. And so that's basically the story. I'm sorry I can't give you guys a tour right now. That is going to happen in the near future, as soon as next time everybody's at work or something and I'm home, I'll give everybody a quick tour. It's a cute little house. It's a nice place. 2,000 square foot. I've got this massive detached 4-car garage that came with it, and it's insulated. I've got an AC unit I put in right there. I've got a couple of TVs. I keep all my landscaping and lawn care equipment in here and all my tools. It's awesome. So my advice to anybody else that wants to do this would be, don't jump the gun. Wait for the right property to come around. Like I said, I looked at probably a dozen or so houses before this one, all for roughly the same amount of money, but for a far less value. I'd have to put in I'd have to probably dump 20 or 30 grand in each of the other houses that I looked at. And this one was basically turnkey as far as I was concerned when I moved in. And something else. Save a lot of money. I mean, don't get ahead of yourself. I wish I was glad that I had that extra cushion when, like, then my savings account when I moved in, just in case, because there ended up being like I did need it. So if I wouldn't have had that, I would have been screwed. I would have been out of a house. So, and then make sure you have good roommates if you're gonna do this. This is house hacking. I think that's what it's called. Because I live in one bedroom, I rent the other ones out. We all live together, and that's house hacking. So, let's see here. Things I would have done differently. I would have. I mean, hindsight's 2020. There's some things that I should have done. I should have waited to do the bathroom because I've spent $3,000 on that. I did everything myself. One of my roommates is a plumber, so he helped me with the plumbing, and he gave me a pretty good deal on that. But I should have waited a little bit longer because I was basically sitting on pennies at that point after that project was done. So I would say, don't, unless it's absolutely necessary that you have to fix something on the house in the first year, don't do it. Unless it's absolutely necessary, or unless one of your roommates has a huge problem with it. One other thing is, make sure the lease you have is written up by a lawyer, like an actual somebody. I don't pay the money so the lease is as foolproof as it can be for you and your tenants. Because we really haven't run into any issues here, but the lease is, there's some things that you should write in. Like I wrote in that, in my lease, that if one of my tenants wants to use the garage, they have to ask me first if they want to keep something in here, because the reason I bought this place is because it had a huge garage, and this is what I run my business out of. And that is why I had to write that in, just in case. I mean, they're keeping like coolers and a couple of chairs or something in here. I don't care, but I didn't want there to be any confusion. So just make sure your lease is pretty foolproof if that's the route you're going. That's just, I mean, I haven't had an issue yet, but I did have a lawyer write my lease up. And then make sure, one other thing is that you have your house in an LLC. Like talk to your lawyer, have it put in an LLC, and make sure it's you have your insurance through the house is dwelling only, and it's through technically I'm renting for myself, because the LLC is set up in the way that my LLC is set up so that if the house were to burn down, the insurance only covers the dwelling. So I have a separate renter's policy because I'm renting for myself, so it's like $12 a month, and it covers, if anything, if the house would burn down, it covers everything that's in it. And I don't have like a regular homeowner's policy. It's like a commercial real estate policy, kind of. That's the best way I could describe it. But anyway, I've been rambling for 13 minutes now, so I'm gonna try to cut it short. If you guys have any questions, post them down in the comments. I did buy this house when I was 19. I spent 6 or 7 months looking for the house. I didn't want to jump the gun, waiting for the right house. That's my biggest advice, is wait for the right one to come along. You will know it when you see it. I knew it when I saw this house. I knew I had to have it. It's had everything I wanted for the right price. And as far as an investment go, the house across the street from me just sold for $240,000 a few weeks ago, which is like $70,000 more than I bought mine for, and it doesn't even have a garage. And I'm on a corner lot too, so I've got a huge lot, twice the size of the lot, and I got a hell of a deal. That's all I'm gonna say. When I do go to sell this place in however many years that is, I know I can at least clear 200 from that. So yeah. Well, I guess that's all I had. So I will make a tour video of the house when I'm done, or when I get the chance. So if you guys stuck around this long, thanks for watching. Learn from my mistakes, learn from, I don't know, just get out there and hustle. That's all I got to say.